Good evening, dear friends. Now we are all here to know more and more about English. English is very much useful in all walks of life, and that too in the modern technological world for computer and above for improvement of science, and very much in the medical field. We have got an immense place, very important place, a needy place for English. That means all of us are in need of knowing more and more about English. I think all of you are not beginners. Most of you are who are watching this may know English, and you may like to make it better and better. That is what is life. Every day we want to make ourselves, our behavior, our thoughts and feelings, habits and mannerisms, character, everything should be better and better. The next day should be better than today. That should be the aim, nature, ambition, vision, and wish of every human being. So, in that way, it is better that we know more and more of English, spoken English, that too to communicate our thoughts and feelings to another person. And when we speak, we should have a strong confidence in us that what we express, what we communicate is taken to the person who listens to it, and that person must understand what we feel. Otherwise, it is of no use simply talking and talking. Everybody knows that. When simple words like come inside please, when we say to a person, we understand what we speak, we think about it, and the listener must understand, and the listener must come inside with pleasure. That is what is life. No? Little things come inside. Please take your seat. Let us have our conversation. Do you like to have a cup of coffee? How do you enjoy today's day, today's events? Something of this sort. For everything, we need a set of words and also proper words. When we use proper words only, we feel very happy. It is natural. No? For anybody, I have seen so many people who do not feel very comfortable in the midst of others when they are not able to speak fluently, and that too in English. So it is an easy way of knowing English, learning English, knowing more and more words in English, because English, it is very easy. So very few letters are there, and when we try to put them all together, the letters and form words, and coining new words are there, and knowing more and more through dictionary, through thesaurus, we can know more and more words. Okay, words we will be able to know. And how to put them together? For that only we need little of grammar. So spoken English, please don't ever think that we are going to do a lot about the grammatical rules, because I know as a teacher of higher secondary classes who had taught for 33 years in a convent school, I know how children like grammar. So naturally, even elderly people who are watching this may not like grammar at all. We are not going to do anything deep into grammar, but little of grammar only will help us to form proper sentences. We should know few rules of grammar in English which will help us to speak English properly, correctly, so that we can feel very proud. We can feel ourselves as elegant people, because English is an elegant language which has got its own beauty, it has got its own charm, it has got its own attraction. And our words and thoughts and feelings and the way we talk, everything should impress others. That is the thought of anybody, that is the wish of anybody. So for that, let us know something about the basic English, how to form sentences. Simple sentences can be very easily formed. That is one thing. And another thing is, dear friends, we should always know that any skill can be developed only by training, by using it, anything. If some people say that I like to sing, I am a good singer, but how is it developed? Only when we start singing. Even if you are a bathroom singer, even that is enough to develop your singing capacity. So like that, drawing also, no, anything, any skill can be developed only by the constant usage and by freely training in that level. So for communicating in English language, that is what is very important. We should never feel the hesitation. Hesitation is not at all needed. Hesitation will kill the growth of communication skill, that too in English. We should never feel that my English is not Good. So language is only for communication. Our own language, now being a Tamilian, let me talk about Tamil. Many of us talk the Tamil language in a wrong way. When a Tamil Pandit, when a person who is skillful in Tamil, when a person is listening to our language, the ordinary language which we use in our day-to-day life, immediately that person will tell us that your sentence is wrong, grammatically it is wrong, you are not using proper words. But we never hesitate, we simply go on speaking our language in a wrong way, with wrong pronunciation, and grammatically sure a lot of mistakes will be there in our spoken language. You will be able to develop your English, you will be able to correct your mistakes, and few mistakes which we normally use will be corrected very easily when we pay attention to it. When we have a longing to develop our communication skill, our spoken English, that longing will make us do it again and again, listen to it again and again, and trying to practice, trying to train ourselves, which will surely make us skillful in the spoken English. Spoken English is not that very hard, not that very tough. If you have love for the language and if you have an earning, an interest in it, you will be able to learn with enthusiasm, with interest, with involvement. And the involvement will always help us to show ourselves with commitment, and that will end in an achievement. No? All of us like to be achievers. So little attention is quite enough to make our communication skill better and better. No? English is quite easy. Now we are able to see English words, English language everywhere and anywhere. When we listen to more of words, we will be able to develop it. So it is always good to know the content words in English. That is what is very important. Content means the matter. So as students also, all of us had seen that content in our composition notebooks. First may be serial number, second column will be the date, and the third column will be content, where we write letter writing, spotting the error, essay writing. That's what is content. No? So in English, we have got content words, that is, they give us matter. Content words give us matter. So for example, I go garden, pluck white roses. So what happens is here, when a listener is listening to this, sure that listener will understand how I am going to the garden to pluck white roses. So here the content words are I, garden, pluck, white roses. So there what is very important is, when a person listens, maybe broken sentences with few words, and these are the content words. Instead of I, when I say Mala is going to the garden to pluck white roses. So Mala is a noun and I is also noun, pronoun. You would have studied in the school level, even in the smaller classes. So just let us brush up those grammatical items, no? Nouns, and the words used instead of nouns are the pronouns. So when I say I, it's a pronoun. We will do later about pronouns, nouns in detail. I just want to tell you the content words which give us some matter. Like I, garden, white, roses. So garden is also noun, roses is also noun, and white gives the color of the roses. That means it's an adjective. So adjectives are the words which tell us more and more about nouns. So I go to the garden to pluck the white roses quickly. When I say plucking quickly, it is an adverb describing the verb pluck. So these are the four words which are classified as content words, which give us the matter. So person going Mala, when I say instead of I pronoun, we can just give a name, noun. That is Mala is going to the garden. No, garden is a noun, to pluck white flowers. So plucking is also verb, going is also verb. So all these are giving matter. That's quite enough. But when I say going to the garden, to is a word which is called as a preposition, and we call them as structural words. So very particularly in spoken language, it is all classified as content words. That's what I said, no? Nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. So we will all do all these items in detail. Just as an introductory talk, I am just telling you, all these are important to express our thoughts and feelings. Content words which will give us a meaning. The listener will understand. When we speak also, we get the idea and the listener also understands. But to give it a proper structure, a perfect sentence, there are some more words called as structural words. These words only give us a proper structure for the sentence. So that's how you have got prepositions, conjunctions, articles and even interjections. Many do not think about interjections because we don't very much use. Now and then only we use interjections. Otherwise, commonly used words are prepositions. I think all of us know it, but we don't think about it after completing the examinations and after completing the studies. We don't think about it. But to call ourselves as educated persons who know something of English means we have to use all these words to give a proper structure to sentences. So apart from nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs, when you join them with the two proper words, to, for, under, beneath, after, from, there are so many prepositions which are used to give a proper structure. And there are also few conjunctions like joining the sentences. Junction, I think all of us know. These words we had learned during our student life. Maybe some of the viewers would have completed your studies. And when you try to brush up those grammar classes, you will really understand, you will really remember conjunctions. Junction, no, we know that. And why we call them as junction? That is a meeting place of many roads. That is why we call them as junctions. Similarly, for sentences also, when I say the same sentence, I was going to the garden and I plucked few white roses. And this is a conjunction, joining the two sentences. The very same sentence which I told you, I was going to the garden to pluck the white roses, can be broken into two. We have got so many types of grammar exercises, no? For that we use. And not only that, modern English is that small sentences, short sentences. Why? Because what we speak should be passed on to the listener in a proper way and the listener should understand it. That is why modern English is very particular about using short sentences. So when I say I was going to the garden, I went to the garden, one sentence, and I plucked few roses, white roses. Then next, that is joined by and. You usually, all of us use and several times, this conjunction. Even but, no? I went to the bus stand, but I missed the bus. But is there, but also we use several times. It gives us contradictory ideas. When I go to the bus stand, I must get the bus. But unfortunately, I missed it. That's why we use that but. I wanted to write the exam very well, but I couldn't get good marks. I didn't do well. But gives that meaning. And because, as since all these are conjunctions which are used to give certain reasons. I was preparing to go to church or to go to temple, but I couldn't go because it was rain. You are giving a reason because. Or we can say, as I was sick, I didn't go to the school yesterday. Since it was heavily raining, I couldn't go for shopping. So there are so many words like this. When you have two sentences, you can join them with conjunctions. So they are junctions. They are called as conjunctions because meeting point of two or three sentences. That is what is conjunction. Then articles like she is a girl. The doctor came to my house. The, an is used before the vowels. So articles are also there. So I am just going fast for all these because we will be doing all these in detail in each session. Now all these are used as structural words to give English proper structure. So let us concentrate on content words. That is very important because matter must be presented to others, must be passed on to others only through content words like, once again, so many times I have told that is nouns, verbs, adjectives and adverbs. So nouns and verbs are very important. With simply nouns and verbs, we can form sentences. So Mala is dancing. It is a sentence. Mala is noun, is dancing is verb. Just with the noun and verb, we can make sentences. Then for Mala, you can say the beautiful girl, you can say. So when you say beautiful girl, beautiful is an adjective which tells us more and more about the girl. Then Mala is dancing beautifully. When we say, it is describing the verb. Then it is adverb. So adjective always describes the noun and adverbs always describe the verbs. So most of the ly words, slowly, fastly, quickly, peacefully, many words with ly, they are called as adverbs. All of us are using these words, but we don't think about what they are, what it is. No? When we concentrate on certain grammatical rules, we will feel confidence. No? We will enjoy the confidence. We will be very confident to speak very freely, very fluently. Spontaneous overflow of words will be there only when we have a good knowledge of grammar. Otherwise, why to know grammar? People say, why to know grammar for spoken language? It's not that. We need not do it in very great detail, no? So, we are in grammar, we have got degrees of comparison, voices changing, all that. All these things we need not know. Just to express our thoughts and feelings, just to say what we want to tell to another person, and just to understand the speaker's words, just to be a good listener. Simply listening is not important, no? We should listen, we should understand, and we should be able to express also, should be able to reply also. That is what is communication. So when we speak English, what we speak should be correct, it should be exact to the point, and should be spoken in such a way that the listener understands it. So for all these, we need little of grammar, few items which are needed to form correct sentences, which are needed to ask the questions in a proper way. So, when what is your name is a simple question which is asked even to a 2.5 years old child when the child goes to the school. So, like that, there are so many questions. No, WH words are there, so many question words are there which are used to ask questions. When there are a lot of mistakes, I think the listener will feel very funny to listen. No? Some of them express, no, it is not correct. Some of them may not express, but will be thinking in their heart of hearts that that person doesn't know any English, nothing. Everything is wrong, everything is spoken wrongly, no grammar at all. She doesn't know, she or he doesn't know any grammar rule. So I think all of us like to be called as people who know well, know the good things, who are right in their talk, who are right in their way of speaking. That's what is enjoyed by everyone, whoever it is. So let us make ourselves better and better by knowing certain grammatical rules which are already known to us, which are already taught to us in our school days, in our college days maybe. And we can just give a brushing to all those ideas, those grammar classes, so that we will be able to include those grammatical rules, those items in our spoken language, so that our question formation can be correct and the listener will be able to listen well, will be able to understand better, and will be able to convey the matter to us in a very good way, in a proper way, in such a way that we also understand it. Everybody enjoys that. Otherwise, when we are in a group of friends, where two are speaking very well fluently in English and I am not able to speak, I am not able to express, I am not able to understand. There are so many people who say in that way, cannot understand, cannot express, I am not able to speak freely. That hesitation will go away from our thoughts only when we know little of grammar, only when we know the basic grammatical rules which will help us to form correct sentences. When we know something correctly, we always have confidence. So confidence is the best thing which is needed. Self-confidence is very important when we speak English. Self-confidence will wash away the hesitation from us, so that we will be able to speak very freely, we will be able to answer freely, we will be able to think freely. What we think, what we feel should be expressed. That is what is communication, and that too in our spoken language, in our spoken English, that can be done in a better way, and we can make ourselves better and better every day by understanding few grammatical rules and by knowing more and more about few words also, the commonly spoken words. When we open the dictionary, there are so many words which we can go through, but those words cannot be used in our day-to-day life. We cannot use them. Very few words are only commonly used. Very few words can be used in our spoken language and can be understood by the listener also. All these are very important. So when we go through the dictionary, we can get to know few words. It is better that we try to know at least 5 words every day. That is the habit of knowing English. So when you have a package of words, when you are very sure of using those 5 words properly, means you will feel confident. So every day it is better to know 5 words, at least 5 new words, no? So that we can try to put them in proper sentences. So let us try to do more and more to know more of English, that is words, and that is what it is, content words I told you. Content words, when we know more and more, we shall put them in proper structure by knowing about the structural words like articles, conjunctions, prepositions, and one more is there, interjections, which we don't use much, but let us know about it also a little. No, alas, hooray, we say, no? Just an expression which we don't use commonly. So apart from that, these 7 parts of speech are very, very important and easy also to know them. When we hear more and more sentences with these words, hearing more of words, that's quite enough. Need not to memorize, need not learn all these. Not just listening, just hearing of new words and sentence patterns, interrogatives and requests. There are so many things like this. No? When we speak to other person, request is also very much needed. No? Please give me a cup of water. So request is very much needed. So all these, when we go on listening, interrogative sentences, there is questions, requests, then even commands. No, parents will ask their children, bring your homework notebook. No, children, you know very well, there are many parents may be listening to this, and the children must know more and more. When a parent is able to speak to the children freely, the children listen to it, and when the children go to school also, they will be able to speak very freely. So let us develop ourselves by listening to more sentences in English. Listening alone is quite enough to develop our spoken language. When we hear more and more about English, our English will be developed and we will feel more free. We will be confident to speak more and more, and the hesitation will be completely wiped away from our thoughts, from our hearts, from our minds and from our habits also. So when hesitation is removed, confidence will be in the forefront and we will be able to do well in all walks of life, in all avenues of life. Wherever we go, whomever we meet, we will be able to speak well in English, and we can always feel the pride and honor of being a person who can speak well, who is very skillful in spoken English. So let us try to reach that level very soon by listening to all these. Thank you, dear friends.